Hello. Yay, I'm live. It's been a while, guys. Sorry, I don't mean to be talking so soft. I'm sitting outside on the patio. I hope you can hear me okay. Yay, I've got my I don't have coffee, I have tea, and I actually cut out coffee. So that's been fun. Yeah. I'm sure I should probably pull up to make sure that I'm live, but I'm sure that I probably am. So I know it's been a while since I popped on live, but it's windy. And of course the dog was barking just as I was going on live. So I was like, oh great. Hello, Pepper. Pepper or Jackie. Hi. My tea is really, really hot, but that's okay. I've got dandelion tea, dandelion root tea in. So that is what I've been drinking. Yep, dandelion root tea. So I've been trying to help my digestive system and things like that. I've got a interesting bug that I've never seen before. That was crazy. It looked like a gigantic beetle that had like horns on it. I didn't even know we had those in Arizona. Maybe I should let that cool because that is quite hot. But yeah, so I thought I would just, it's been so long since I popped on. It's been so, it's just been crazy. I didn't plan on staying here for quite as long as I did. I extended my stay here with family, and it's just been crazy. Stayed another week, and then another week, and then another week, and so hopefully we'll be home soon. But it's been really fun visiting. So I thought I would just kind of, I don't know, I guess I'll just kind of show you guys some of the favorite things that I've hauled this month-ish or so. I can't bring everything out because it's honestly just too much stuff. But I thought I would go through and kind of pick through some of my favorite things that I have thrifted, and just a couple things that I actually bought at like a Witchy store and other places and things like that. So I think I'm going to show probably one of my coolest finds at the thrift store first, because I know in like Jennifer's group, like all very thrifty, and we like to go and find things. And go ahead, bud. Yeah, my kids are hanging out inside. So, but I found this, and I was actually so shocked that I found something like this. It's supposed to be for candles, and I'm sure there's a big thing, you know, some kind of candle holder that goes here. But, oh, yes, you may. Can you take the dogs back inside, please? Thank you. So I saw people reusing the. Yes, I can open. Yeah, there's lots of bees out here. One of my kids already got stung by a bee twice this time already. Can you close the door, please? Thank you. So, as I was saying, I saw somebody, I think it was in the Sage Goddess group, and they had something kind of like this, but they put like their sphere crystals in it, and I thought that this would literally be perfect for that. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to fit them in here yet, but I know I have a gigantic labradorite sphere, and that is going to fit perfect right here. So yeah, I thought that would be a really interesting display. Right now I just kind of have them on like individual candlestick holders that you guys probably saw in like 2 videos ago. It was like my witchy corner walkthrough kind of a thing. And so yeah, I was really excited to find this. I didn't think I was going to find something at all similar to it. So that was a super cool find. And then this was really cool. This was, I guess, my last video was the unboxing of this. And I was able to find this at like a Gucci store. I was so surprised because it was kind of like, while it was still pre-order and it hadn't quite been released, but it almost was. So that was a really fantastic find. I love this. So if you haven't seen that walkthrough, then go ahead and check that out. And then also Sage Goddess related. So this is my new chakra balancing tool. This is the coolest thing I think I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure they made it in-house, and I think she's thinking about releasing more of these. I think it's a product that they're going to start doing. So this is, I know, isn't this like the coolest thing ever? It has all of the right chakra stones in there, and it's supposed to be a rattle, and there's still a part on it. I think I have to fix, I think it's the side here, that it's just kind of like that laser cut, kind of thin wood, but it's got kind of like a nice, I don't know if you guys, I hope you can hear it pretty well, but it's got a nice rattle to it. It really kind of mostly goes like side to side like this, but you would use it just kind of, oh my gosh, it popped out, no! Of this side right here. Yeah, see, that's one that needs to be. So I definitely need to use wood glue to get that piece back together. So, but it is fairly good otherwise. I mean, it wasn't a gigantically expensive tool, which I'm happy about, but maybe that's not good. And of course that tax marking, but okay. So I think I'm going to show one Scully. I know I'm going to be doing like a Scully update probably as soon as I get back home, because I have some of the Scullies that I've gotten since my last video are at home. Otherwise, I almost have all of the new ones here, and I would have done that here. But I really wanted to show this one because this is my first like 5-inch tall one. This is a Rhodonite, and really cool. It's kind of like a lighter pink, not quite as dark. I spent a lot of time looking at a lot of Rhodonite Scullies, and every time I would like get so close to buying them, it just seemed not right for some reason. And then this one popped up in my Instagram feed, and I was like, holy cow. So everything worked out perfect, and this one arrived, and oh my gosh, seriously so stunning. This is my largest Scully so far. There's a few other large ones this size that I'm looking at, and I think it's just about timing and if they connect to you and if they speak to you and stuff. That's how I always go based off of like which ones I get. I know so many people all the time are like, well, I haven't even gotten one yet, and I don't know what how to pick. And it's like they kind of pick you, like it just timing falls into place. It's the right one, it's the right price, it's the right everything, and then it works out. And if they don't speak to you eventually, maybe they will. So that's what I always like to tell people when they ask about kind of like Scullies and things like that. Speaking of thrifting, this is actually a cup that I thrifted. How stinking pretty is this? It was like $1. I'm very particular about like the mugs that I drink out of for some reason. They have to be like unique and special. One of the, oh, do I have a name for this one yet? No. Oh yeah, do I? No. I don't think this one has a name yet. Yeah, I'm getting a no. That's a negative. Sometimes it takes a little while for those to come out. I've had some that like tell me right away. So I forgot what I was saying. I think I was talking about the mug. Oh yeah, particular mugs. There's a mug that I want to get that. Oh, okay. Hello. Hi everyone. So, oh yeah, what? I literally Okay, yes, mugs. And there's a cute little cauldron mug that I saw on Etsy that I really want to get because I think that would be really awesome. We're going to be moving. And I'm going to be going through some of like maybe like my older mugs and things like that, and kind of bringing out, taking out the old, bringing in the new, things like that. Plus, I don't want them to get broken anyway, so I'd rather like at least the ones that aren't like super special. I don't want to worry about taking like a bunch of extra ones. Sure, if it's related to the topic. I am gonna just kind of like start going through. I can't stay too long, so I'm just gonna show a few more of some of the things that I've kind of hauled that have been some of my favorites. And the rest I have left is books. So this is kind of a really cool one. I don't know if this is showing backwards for you guys, but it's The Witch's Daughter. I'm pretty sure this is a nonfiction book. I have not read this though, so that I found, which I thought was really cool. I think all except for this one. This one wasn't a thrifted book, but this is what I started reading, Pagans and Christians. So it's kind of helping to gain like perspective, and just kind of find a way of like coexisting and like I'm trying to think of some of the other things. Let's see. It's okay. It's supposed to help create like a dialogue and looking at maybe like a more, logical approach to both paths and kind of giving some nice contrast and things like that. What's the stone on my necklace? This is actually Siberian charite. This is kind of new, I think. This was a steal on Etsy, no joke. When I saw it, I bought it up so quick because it really wasn't that expensive at all. Charite's usually quite expensive. So when I saw this, it was like under $30. So, and it's quite thin, but the Siberian is kind of like the Siberian charite. It doesn't look quite as, like, it looks more wavy, kind of, if that makes sense. Like a chart usually looks kind of clumpy. And I think the Siberian variety, I don't really know what makes that so different, but it looks more wavy. And I love it. It's awesome. And so this, I was actually really excited to find at the thrift store because this is a book I almost bought many, many times because I've been doing lots of goddess studies. And this is pretty cool. The cool thing about this book that is different from the other books that I have on goddess stuff is that this goes based by elements, which I thought was really cool, super interesting. And so you can kind of find which goddesses you want to work with based on if you have like a certain elemental theme going on. So that was pretty cool. I think I got this for like $2. So that, and this isn't like that old of a book. So I thought that was awesome. And then I think the last book that I'm going to show is just, it says Native American mythology, but it's kind of, when I was looking at it more closely after I got it, it's more of like a reference kind of book. So they do have like stories and legends and things in here, but it's more reference based. So you can kind of go to, like it's got dolls, double-faced woman, dreaming doctor. I mean, it's kind of just got, it also goes into, I think, a lot of different traditions based off of the different tribes and things like that. So it does cover a few. I was kind of sad to find that it didn't cover Cherokee much at all. I think I found, did I bookmark it? I think I did bookmark the page, hopefully, but it was very short, which made me really sad. No, maybe not. I must have booked this for, I don't know if I booked that or if maybe somebody else booked that. I thought I kind of bookmarked the one Cherokee thing that they had in there. But I guess maybe I didn't. Yeah, that's the only one I'm seeing. Maybe because it's for something else. Oh, okay. There's Hopi. No, I don't know why I would have bookmarked this page. If I did, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. But this is quite a really good book, and this was only, how much was this? So this was like $2.50. Super fantastic. I mean, like, you can't get much better than that. It's like, books are so expensive, especially spiritual books, and so getting those for just a couple bucks literally is like the best thing in the world. I hope my internet connection is doing okay. Hi! So I was just kind of showing and telling a little bit about some of the cool thrift finds and a few of my other favorite things that I've hauled since I've been on like traveling and things like that. Wasn't going to bring it all out, but you know, I just wanted to bring out a few of my favorite things, and of course my Scully, really cool. So how's everybody doing? It's been way too long since I was on live, and I've missed everybody in the community. I've barely been able to even catch some of Jen's lives. Most of the time, everybody's kind of like gone today, other than, you know, my kids are just kind of hanging out, watching Smallfoot. Have you guys, I don't know if anybody's into kitten movies, but it's a cute movie. I don't know. It's kind of like, it seems like one of those magical movies that like most people would like. I don't know. I know it's hard for everybody to get on usually during the day, but at least people will be able to watch the playback. Good, relaxing. What do you do for work? Do you do like anything witchy related, or is it like a muggle job? Because I know that sometimes like, when I'm moving, I'm going to be trying to figure out what I want to do up in the Northwest. I have not figured out what to go about doing there. I know I definitely want to go back and take some classes. Okay. That's always good. Yeah, I definitely want to go back and take some classes. I've been really interested in, like, that's why I got the book Pagans and Christians, and I've been reading that. I've been really interested in doing more like religious studies and things. I find the more you know, just, you know, the better you can like base your perspective and your ideals and things off of more accurate information and things like that. I don't know why that got like flagged. Weird. YouTube's weird. Funny. Dietary aid. Okay. So I find, yeah, so I was thinking about doing more. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Just hanging out. I probably won't be able to stay on too much longer, but I just wanted to pop in and say hi. Is anybody else like interested in religious studies because of like witchcrafty stuff, or is that kind of like what got you guys doing like this path, like looking into that? Because I find it super interesting, just looking at like the different perspectives that all of the religions have, like especially based off of like what the theory is of like how everything came to be. And so just through some of like the small research that I was doing one day, I thought it was super interesting, just like some of the traditions that go back like super far, and you know how open and wide ranged like everything is. When I think it was I'm trying to think of what video, was it Leanne was doing a video, and she was talking about, like just some of the religious differences of like the core beliefs of, some of the different, kind of like mainstream and then also not mainstream religions, which I thought was extremely interesting, the comparison and contrast and stuff. And I've still very much been kind of trying to find something and something that like resonates with me, that sounds true, that kind of seems like that's the also logical, but also very much like feeling like it's something that's meaningful, you know. I think everybody has that kind of thing in them that they like when they hear it, you know, like that it kind of like rings true. Since you started tarot, interesting. Yeah, it is. Isn't it so funny? I think it's very interesting the reason why people believe certain things. And actually, very interesting segue. Can you go back outside, please? Hi. What do you need? You're just gonna sit here? Okay. I thought it was super interesting, actually. So I talked about the Smallfoot movie that we were watching, which is the kids' movie, but also at the same time, it was super interesting just because of the fact that okay, well, I feel bad if I'm going to spoil the video, but okay, spoiler alert, kind of. It basically their stuff is kind of their community guidelines are based off of stories that are told, you know, just like any other community, obviously, but you know, there's set rules to kind of tell a story, or I'm trying to think of the exact word. It's like literally on the tip of my tongue. I don't know if it would be like considered like dogma. Any questions? Not anything related to tarot wise or any readings or anything like that, but I thought it was super interesting the way they portrayed it, because there's, you know, a story of how their people live and their beliefs, and, you know, that this thing is bad or this thing is good, and then this is just the way things are. And I thought it was so interesting because I think it rings true for so many religions in that aspect of creating stories that are told to kind of keep people in keep people in line, keep people from asking questions. You know, it's like one of those like blind following things. And so I thought that was extremely interesting, because I feel like many stories and religions and other things kind of base practices and rules off of, you know, trying to keep, you know, maybe people safe or from something, or, you know, just in a certain headspace. And that's kind of like the underlying message kind of that I got from that movie, which is funny because it's a kids movie, but it's interesting how things overlap, and you know, the conversations that you have and around things like that as well, I think is super funny and like thought provoking. Like, it's such a simple movie, and here it is, like, you know, they kind of have these like set rules, and these, you know, the way they perceive the world to be. And again, spoiler alert, because now this will get into kind of like more spoilers, so I'm sorry if you really wanted to see the movie Smallfoot and haven't yet, but they, you know, tell the story of how they came to be. And it's like, it's funny because it sounds so crazy, but don't many stories that religions tell of like how we came to be sound like a little like, really, is that how it happened, you know? And which I think leads people to questioning and, you know, coming up with your own conclusions or looking or diving deeper. And yet that's so discouraged even still. So I don't know. And that's what has gotten me so interested into just figuring out, like, what is it that everybody believes? Why do they believe it that way? Because everybody has such a different perspective on things. You know, I try very hard to see things from other people's perspective. It's not always easy. Yes, and that definitely the you know, that there's a huge element of fear involved, and I definitely believe that's true. And it's one of the things that has kind of pushed me into exploring religion the way that I have, especially recently, because I don't think that it's necessarily like productive, especially in the society that we have today, to continue you know, getting people to do things out of fear. And I think it's a very old way of of trying to control a general population, and that's going forward with a lot of the technology advances and things that we have, I don't think it's necessary to do. But I could be wrong. Again, that's just my perspective and my viewpoint. And everybody has different experiences that they grow up with. And, some people have really great experiences in Christianity, and then others, which I think is kind of a large majority of our group, in the witch community and things, that typically, because we've been more, I don't want to say rebellious, but in a way, yes, very much like pushing that, those set things of, well, this is just how it is, and you're the one asking the questions of like, oh, well, how does that work, and how has this come to be? And it's like, so then all of a sudden, you're bad for asking any questions and not just taking it at face value. And that's what I think is so funny. And I don't even know how we got on this little tangent of things. I know we talk about all kinds of interesting stuff, but that's just kind of the things that I think about sometimes. And sometimes I do find myself even being concerned to share my personal opinions and perspectives, because it's, there's a lot of conflict that comes out of that sometimes when you don't have people who will be open-minded about sharing those things with one another and allowing other people to challenge your beliefs in a way where, sometimes you can grow together, or, maybe that helps you to change your own viewpoint or opinion. And I feel like sometimes today there's a lot more pushback in not allowing that to happen as much, because and it's funny because the last couple of days I've been hearing so many things about, like, I've been hearing other people share about like talking, like how you speak to other people and how you are contributing to a conversation, and are you really listening? And a lot of times I think we have conversations and we're listening to, although we're hearing what people are saying, we're wanting to combat that sometimes, and we're thinking automatically of like, oh, well, what should I say? Instead of like really taking in and like, listening to other people's perspectives and sharing our own and having a healthy conversation back and forth, which I feel like definitely on social media is lacking quite a bit. I mean, like, I try not to read all the comments and things that I see people share articles and other things on Facebook, because sometimes it can be very discouraging, I think, how some of the viewpoints are for certain groups, or, even things that are just really not that deep either. No, can you leave that on there, please? Can you take that? The star system, yeah. No. Don't hit, no. There you go. Can you take that stuff inside, please, and bring the dogs inside? It's getting warm out here. Can you take them in, please? You're getting warm, too. It's already hot, and it's like, what time is it? It's 11:30. I'm actually surprised it's not hotter than it is right now. I think it's been kind of cooler here a few days. How pretty are these flowers here and all the greenery? I cannot wait to go more north and be able to grow a garden. I cannot tell you how much of a dream that is, to be able to like start producing more of my own food and things like that. And if you guys want me to share maybe a little bit of that here, I can. Definitely the herbal stuff that I'll be doing, because I do want to grow more of my own herbs and things like that, but I won't heavily turn into like a garden channel if you're not too hyped for that, because I know it's like I kind of have stayed. I'm sorry, I'll be in 1 minute. That was not very nice. Yay, brothers. I'm an only child, so this whole sibling clash of the titans that has been going on the last couple weeks is so new to me, and it's exhausting. Well, I should probably get going. I know this is kind of like a shorter live, and I feel so bad about that, but I did at least want to be able to hop on and say hi. That is not very nice. Don't give this to me now. Thank you. Go on. Do not hit him again. No, go inside. Don't hit him again. Yeah, fun. Well, I'll get going. I know I don't think a ton of people got to hop on because I didn't give much notice like at all. So I'm sorry for that, but I didn't know when I was gonna be able to come on. So next week things should kind of like settle back down, and I have videos that I have needed to edit to put up on the channel and things like that. And I've just been so busy with like my car kind of breaking and other fun things. It's been interesting. The planetary stuff that has been going on has been super crazy. So with that, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, week, all that stuff. Thanks for joining in with me for this super kind of like all over the place tea talk chat thing, whatever you would call it. And I will see you guys again soon. Yay. Well, yeah, okay. I always draw these things out way too long. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.